welcome back to our short course for Shopify Hydrogen 2 plus Remix. And in this video, we are going to continue to our amazing part for the session 2, which is the remaining hooks for Hydrated, useMoney, Suspense, and useFetcher. And I think in this demonstration, I will going to show you to create another component that I'm gonna show you right now. I think without any further delay, let's go ahead, and here is the exact component that we're going to create. This is the part of the mini cart. And you see here, this is what we call a free shipping progress bar added to your cart. And I think what we need to do right now is to go to our VS Code. And I think what we used to have previous session is the announcement bar. Now, if you see, try to look at what exactly what we done. A little short recap to that. So we got few things that we did. I think it's in the layout. We added this and the announcement bar, which we already added this component. And I think I touched something here. I'm gonna escape. So if you want to disregard any changes on your get, so we just click this icon and discard changes. And here I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do here. So what I said as what I demonstrated previously. So we're gonna type add dash interface. Now we see there are one changes on the layout, and I think there are two files. One file, I think the first component that we didn't see here. So I think I will just apply an update and press one, select one. Then it you see here there is an asterisk added, indication that you're gonna add this file update. Now I think this announcement bar is untrack file. We're gonna select number 4, and now you see that there is untrack file. We're gonna type 1 and then enter and exit. Now there is another command. The the final command that you're going to commit these changes, but there's a parameter hyphen m to add a message, like we're gonna say added new component for announcement bar. That's it. We're gonna say get status. That's it. Now I'm gonna show you how we are going to create another branch, since that first component that we are created, we doesn't able to create a branch for that. But on this component, a new component for the progress bar, we are going to create another branch so we can clearly demonstrate you how we are going to build our apps with integrate with a Git repository. So now we're going to type Git uh, checkout dash b, a branch. So I want to name this branch as added shipping bar to cart. Then enter. Now we are now in our uh, new branch that we are not gonna touch this master branch for now. So later, once we are completely done to our short course, then we can create a GitHub where we can post all of these commits and branches goes to our final branch in a remote GitHub. Okay, so I think that's it. Now we are now ready to add a new component. So here in this folder, I will going to create a new file. I want to say shipping bar. I think that's fine. We'll just make it sure that it is readable. And now here, as usual, we're going to declare our component as constant. Then type the name of your component file name. Then the arrow function for ES6 version of JavaScript. And now let's type return. Then we're gonna add a parent container. This we're gonna say so we are integrate with uh, what we call that tailwind. So we are going to apply all of these classes related to tailwind. So just leave it that for now. So here it's mandatory. If you are not exporting this component, it doesn't show up to your other components. Like for example, if I want to save that, save the now. I want to add this shipping bar in my cart. So this is the component for the mini cart. And here we're gonna look at the exact line. So this is the component for cart. Then here, this is the other components that build pre-added on our hydrogen app. Now I'm going to add my newly created components. So we're gonna seek account address bar. You see that no address bar are hinted that it is available from our components that we can easily import it into this another parent component. So that's the thing. So we're now going to going back to our shipping bar, and here we're going to export it by default. Then shipping bar, save. Then let's go back to our cart. Then here, if we are going to type it now, it's now added as a new component. So that is the reason why this function is really important to export by default your component. I'm gonna save. Then now let's try to run our uh, app, and I think it takes about 2 minutes. Hopefully it will be run instantly, but most of the time it takes time because it will connect to our Shopify store and it will run the mini oxygen to our local environment. And sometimes if you got a low connectivity, then it will also affect your local environment and how you are going to synchronize between your hydrogen app in your local environment goes to your remote Shopify store. All right, so I think that's the one thing. Now we are going to proceed, go back while we are waiting to completely initialize the mini oxygen. Now we are going to compose our shipping bar. So I think, as you see, I think I will no longer do the search, but sometimes if we miss it or we forgot what exact uh, class name we're gonna use, so we're gonna, as what I usually do is to open the Tailwind site and search what exactly you want. So we're gonna say I want to uh, add a class name for color background. So you're gonna say background color, background color. It's there. So here I want to use maybe this 200 VG slate 200. Go back to your components. Now I want to type that, save. Then I will add a paragraph inside on this component. I mean in this container, the parent container. Let's see summary, save. Just that's it for now. So let's go back in our preview. Go back here. So what I will going to open it. This I think I need to close the other app. Now let's refresh if it's already initialized. Yes, I think. Okay, it's running on a different port. So you open that. Okay, so here, okay, I mean the announcement bar is running pretty much. Now here we are. So you see it's already added the summary. So now we are going to align all of those elements. So now here I want to add like this. Then you're gonna say free, standard, shipping, like that. And another one is div container. Open a div container. I'm gonna type span your It's the same way what we used to apply on the other uh, sample components. They here away from free express shipping span. Okay, I think that's it at this time. I think I need to add the address, I mean, sorry, not address, the progress bar. I'm gonna use W full, then BG gray, probably 200, then the rounded component for the border, then height maybe 2.5, then dark BG gray 700. Now we're going to add what's it gonna do here? We're going to add another component, another element inside on this div class name, then BG blue 600 H 2.5 rounded full, then style. So I need to add inline style like width, and probably for now let's try to apply. Sorry, I think this must be another bracket here, then width, then I'm gonna use a string, then I say temporarily we're gonna try to look at what exactly will appear on this. Now let's go back to our preview. Now you see, okay, I think I need to add a padding for vertical and horizontal padding. Okay, here need to add a px4, then py4. I want them to be center. Let's go back again to our preview and let's open it. Now you see it's already added this uh, free standard shipping components. Now we're gonna start to add logic to this component. So what we're gonna do, we are going to use effect and use state to this. So let's go back in our component. Now in here we are going to import our use state first and use effect. We're gonna use this hooks effect, sorry, use state, then from react, and here after the arrow function you're going to add all of your declaration to be applied on this component. So I want a minimum amount, like we're gonna look at what exactly will be the appearance of our shipping progress bar. So we need to declare a minimum amount and compare it in a total order amount, so we can determine if what exactly this order amount can be applicable. I mean, it will be getting this free express shipping. So let's go back to our component. Now we're going to declare that constant minimum amount, then 100, like for example 100. Then I will going to use any. So we are in a TypeScript components, so it requires us to declare what will be the type. So for me, it is not really preferable for an accurate data type like float, because this will be might giving a result of some issues with that. So right now I just set it as any. So you can try to experiment on how you are going to declare the data type for each of your variable. So I want to say amount away. how much is the amount away for this progress shipping. So now we're gonna set. So in use state, we have two arguments. One, as what I said previously, the first argument is the current value, and then second argument will be the update of that first argument. So I hope you make it makes sense to you. So that's the thing I can explain. So here I want to say amount away, then use state, then I will initially add this amount as any as well. Any. Now, so I will going to get the total spent amount of the cart. So what I gonna do here, I will going to say constant. We're gonna try to temporarily apply amount for the spend. So like for example, if I spend, if the cart spend, I mean the order total amount of the cart is 40, so I'm gonna set as any. Then I want them to show up on my here. It should be somewhere here. So I want to use now the money money hooks for that. Okay, so while we are going to compose this component, we are going to use another hooks where we are going to place it in our card component, and that is the suspense component. I sorry, suspense hook. So let's go back in a shipping bar here. We're going to apply this temporarily. So we're gonna use a use effect. So I want to calculate how much is the remaining away amount to be qualified to get the free shipping. So here we go. That. Then here, what exact variable that might be used to be our trigger, that if this amount is available, then use effect will trigger to apply what logic we used to have in our use effect. And I think you hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. Now we're going to apply the total spent amount. So this is what I need to get. If this total spent amount has a value, then it will trigger this use effect. So here I'm gonna set amount away because I want to get the how much is the remaining to this order, total order. Say number, then minimum amount, then here gonna say number total spent, and then I think the total spent right now is what we're gonna use to do here. Okay, the total spent will be added here automatically because we are just temporarily add a value of 40. So we're gonna say like a minimum. So we have there 100 and then 40. So it should be the set amount will become 60. So we're gonna add it in here temporarily just to show you how will be the logic here. So we're gonna apply a paragraph. Then we're gonna add the variable here. Say amount away. Oh, sorry, I think it should be single bracket like that. Save. So I will expect that your remaining away from free express shipping. So it's already loaded. Let's go back to our free view. Okay, so here 60. What is the minimum amount of order to qualify to get this free shipping is 100. And currently we are just assuming that we added a total spent amount of 40. So 100 minus, oh sorry, 100 minus deducted to 40 spent. then it becomes 60 away of your free shipping. I think that's correct. Summary: free shipping, free standard shipping. You're 60 away from free express. So if the person gonna spend more above 60 now, this person will qualify to get the free express shipping. All right. So now let's go back here. Now what we're gonna do right now is to apply the money hook. Why is it we need it? Because we need to grab the currency. So right now we are using in our preview, we are currently connected with I think the currency here it's on the footer. So we are in a USD. So I want to grab that currency code down to my component. And the only way is to use this hook, a money hook. So here we are going to import that hook here. So I'm going to say import, say money. Yes, money is it's really hard to find. So here we're going to do that hydrogen. So this is part of the hydrogen modules. Sorry, I mean module. So import money. Now I will going to apply that amount here in a money hook. So it should be placed here. So what I gonna do, I gonna remove this. Then I will going to use the hook. So the hook there is props requirements. Then within the props, I will going to uh, there's a parameter, two parameter. One is the amount. Then in the amount, we're going to use the amount away, and then the currency. The next parameter is the currency code. Then here we're going to use a string. Then like for example, okay, so it's now hinted that we are going to apply all of this. But later we're going to use the actual currency code. But now we're just use it as an static value just to show you what I mean. I'm gonna save that. Okay, hold on. I think there's a lacking closing fragment. Save. Let's go back to our preview. Open the mini cart. What's wrong? Let's inspect. Maybe something is trigger some problem here. Okay, this suspense bound receive. Okay, so you will see like this. Okay, hold on. You may find something this error, and this is the one thing we need to find out what exactly the cost. So here, let's go back the money. Code the following render needs a valid data props that has amount and currency code. Okay, now what is wrong is that it should be a string. But what we did here, let's go back in our money hooks. So I just automatically declared this as an amount of this value. So what I had to do with this is to convert this into string. You're gonna say to string. So you must familiar with ES6 JavaScript to comply this kind of issues. You're gonna save that, then go back to our preview. All right, I think it seems like there is no problem anymore. We're gonna open the bug. All right, so it's here. So finally, we resolved that problem. Now, if you're going back, so what we use those hooks, we have a money and the previous session that we demonstrate how to use the use effect and use state, and we still use it in this component. And I think what we are going to do with this is how we're going to get the percentage. So how much is the amount will be also considered as progress bar goes to the fulfillment of this free express shipping. So let's go back. Now what we are going to do with this is that we are going to apply another use effect. So here we're going to use effect. We'll make it sure that it is very effective or a readable codes. So most of the time I will going to add space to make it maintainable and easy to understand if somebody will do your work. Okay, here I want to use the amount away because this is the the variable that keep on changing. So once this amount gonna change, then we can apply the use effect. So here I want to use another use state for remaining percentage. So what I told you earlier that use state, it requires two arguments. First is the current value, then percent, then set. It should be set. It's not like we're just saying anything here. Like if we can name it in another thing, it is applicable. But usually we're gonna use set remaining, then percent, then use state. We're gonna set as 0. So remaining, you're gonna start from 0. So 0%, then it should be the placement of our progress bar should be start from here. So we will try. So now what we are going to do with this is to calculate the remaining. But I think before that, we will try to apply it on direct to our progress bar. So like for example, if the percent remaining here, so okay here, so I'm gonna use dollar sign, then curly. This thing, if you are not familiar with this command or syntax, it will not be workable if you are using as the single quotation like that. This is not work. This will not doable. But if you are going to use the other string, it's I'm not sure what the exact string I forgot, but it is near in number one K of your keyboard. So I'm gonna use that to combine your string. At the same time, you can inject a JavaScript object to this. So here I will use the remaining percent, which is 0. So before I will going to calculate the remaining, I will just use it the 0 value. We're gonna try how this will work, the percentage, if the 0 value will appear as the same but exactly what I want to read. So let's go back here, then let's open the menu cart. Now it's gone. You see here there's no progress bar anymore. So what if I think there's a missing on my progress bar? There should be a, why is it's not, it is no longer added to this. Okay, I think this is fine. BG blue height 2.5. So what if I will going to add 10 remaining? So let's go back in our preview. Open the menu card. Yeah, I think it's working. Okay, I think that's fine. Now we are going to make this component dynamically applies those how much is the total order from our cart. Now let's go to our cart component where we injected this shipping bar. So now are we going to introduce you the another hooks that we are going to apply, that these hooks are very useful in terms of a fallback loading event. I mean, if that variable, like for example, if this object are still pinching on the server side and it's not yet available and added to our component, then suspense hook will help us to resolve this problem. It is asynchronous that will wait until the value becomes available. Okay, so here we are going to add the suspense. I'm gonna type suspense here. Suspense. Okay, so before that, so you will understand properly. So we're gonna type the what variable I gonna use to the cart, the object. So this is the cart object where you can find all of those information you need. So now let's go back to our component. Once I will going to open the mini cart, then it will also trigger the console for the cart object. So if we are going to open it, it will redirect us to this console. Where is that? Here. Let's go back to our console, and here it's displayed. Now you see there's a null, then followed by another console. If we're going to, this is in language. No, I think this is not the right one. Okay. Now you will see that it return null because I think our cart are still empty. So we did not add anything yet to our cart. And if that is the thing, then it should be returned a null. Now let's go back to our VS Code and let's try to look at the cart now here. And probably we're going to add uh, an item to our cart. So let's try. Let's go back here. We're gonna open this out. I'm gonna click this add to bag and then it's open up. Now let's try to look at the console if there's something is added on it. Let's close. Let's clear the console. Yes. So you see that there is a cart. There's a cart object return. If you're gonna look at the exact how it were things that are useful to our component, then you see here there's a cost and total amount. So we need this. We need this value to be passed on our component. So it will reflect how much will be the remaining order deducted to the minimum qualified for a free express shipping discount. So here, what we are going to do, we're gonna copy that property path, go back to our code, then we're going to console it here, something like that, save. Then if you see here, there is a hand possible null. So if you see something like this, you're going to add a question mark. So the question mark, it will be more helpful because it will not interrupt your app if something will be trigger this issue that it is undefined or whatever that will stop your app running. So it is recommended to use the question mark in this kind of scenario. So we're gonna save that now. Then let's go back to our preview. And if I will going to uh, click that, and you see here, it is now added this value to our console. Now we are now going to apply our our suspense. But before we're going to apply, I'm gonna show you what will happen if there's no suspense hook that will encapsulate your new component. So we're gonna pass this value. So we're gonna pass it direct to our component. And the requirements if going to pass a prompt or any object from your parent container or parent component goes to the children component, then you need to use a props. So here we're gonna use a total amount. You can name whatever name you want as long as it is readable. So here I will going to copy this out, then paste it here. And then if you're going to highlight this, your cursor pointing to this prompt, then it's asking for it is not assignable to any type. So let's go back to our shipping bar where we are passing this prompts. Go back in the shipping bar. And here are we going to use a bracket. Then I will say total amount, then any. So usually I just do that because I never know what object that really is. Then it's better to set this at any. And here now I will going to console. So I'm gonna use this total amount. Maybe probably this will be the proper here. Should be here like that. Then I'm gonna console in this effect. I'm gonna say console total amount. Save. And let's go back to our preview. Okay, so if I were going to click mini cart now, it seems like it is working where? Undefined. So it seems that it's undefined. Okay, it is undefined. Maybe the reason is that uh, it's still not yet available, but it's already added to the console. Look at that, undefined. Now, what we're gonna do here? Let's go back to our uh, cart component, and we are going to add a hook. And this hook is a suspense hook. And I think if you're not familiar with this is part of React that let display a fallback until its children have finished loading by itself. So here we're going back to our cart component, and we are trying to add this suspense. So we're gonna add it suspense part of the React hooks. We're gonna say suspense like that. And here, let's go here, add this suspense, and inside suspense we're going to apply the shipping. Now it requires a fallback props. So here I will going to add a fallback for cart, and it is already available. So you don't have to write it again from scratch. So it's already there. Cart loading, and it is what's wrong? Cart loading. It's not added on. Cannot find cart loading. Okay, maybe it's not added yet. Cart loading. Okay, so that's the one thing. If that's not added it yet, you can just type the name, then tab, press tab to complete this component added automatically in the header for importing this component. Okay, so that's it. Now let's try to save, and then let's go back to our preview and open this card. Okay, so we're gonna see here, where is that now? Address. Now it is working. So as you see that earlier we didn't add a suspense to that, but when we used to add a suspense, now it is no longer have this issue. So we are going to repeat what exactly this suspend really work. We're gonna try to remove that again, just to uh, provide you the exact demonstration to help you to understand what I mean. So here, let's go back in our preview, and then let's open the mini cart. All right. So I think why is that earlier? Okay, gonna say back again. Then let's go back. Then open. Okay, now I think there's no problem, but in just to prevent that kind of issue that returns a null. So earlier, just return a null because it's something like the other child or children are not yet completely loaded. So now we're to just to prevent that problem, we're gonna use the suspense, and in this way we can prevent that issue that it will not return those intended functionality into another problem. So that's the thing. We're gonna save this again. Then here in the shipping bar, what we gonna do, we're going to apply the total amount as a spent. So the spent, it's temporarily initially added as 40 amount. So we're gonna use that to add it here like that. Then we're gonna save. Then what do you think will appear? And hopefully this will work. Okay, let's go back. Oh, something's wrong. Expected closing tag dev too much opening tag money. Okay, so this is the one thing that I think we didn't think about the what you call that before adding this. Let's try to commit this first. Save. Let's go back the preview, then open the mini cart. Okay, it's the problem's gone, but we lost the money figure. So let's go back here. So what I'm trying to say, in the total object, there is a nested K, like amount and value, currency code, USD. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna copy that path and then go back to our, let's return it into a running amount hook. Then here, are we going to add that amount? And this thing also, we're going to, oh, sorry, here we're going to replace this, like, mm, remove that string, say amount away, uh, currency code to string. So it requires us to add this parameter as a string. Save. Hope this error gone. Rebuild. All right, so it rebuilt successfully. Let's go. Why is it down here? Okay, let's go back to our preview. Now we're gonna open the menu cart. Oh, there's a problem here. It says that the cannot read property. Okay, shipping bar cannot read the property to string. Let's go back here. Let's try to do some works to that. Gonna make this again. Then here we're going to console if that will appear exactly. Oh, sorry, amount. Then the other one is console log total amount that currency code. Save. Go back. Let's open up again the mini cart. Now it's all right, but because we are using a use effect. Now there is another component that we are going to add to resolve this problem. In the suspense, there is another hook that we're gonna use as a part of the remix features. So here I'm gonna use the what we call a wait hook that used to uh, something like asynchronous await function that it will help us to uh, prevent this kind of problems. So here we're going to close this out. Hold on, like that. And here copy paste. And in our await hook, we're going to add a parameter, the prompt like resolve. Then here I will going to apply this console inside to this resolve prompt like that. Then within that, once it is resolved, then I will going to pass this object as total amount variable, total amount, anything in total amount, any name you can name it. Then here we're going to use the function arrow and then return this object, pass to the component, and here I will going to replace it with this variable. All right, so I think that's working now. Then I'm gonna save and let's try to look at in our preview if this seems something's good. Okay, so it seems that it is working, but now we're going to restore what we comment here if this will work. I think this is already a string. We're gonna just remove that anyway. Amount away. Amount away was here. Okay, sorry. Amount away. This should not be amount away. This should be a total amount. So you're gonna try to replace this here and this one. Save. Hmm. Total amount passed to that. I think that's fine. Let's go back here. Or we can just simply add this value automatically without any. Okay, this is just a temporary. We're gonna look at the result. All right, so it's here. So it is calculated the you are 13. So this is the only thing. This is the thing that we're able to pass the value from here 13 down to our child component, which is the shipping bar. Now we are going to calculate used to that certain amount. And here, what we're gonna do is to bring the exact result of that total amount. So we're gonna use another. I think we already have this component here, and this is for the remaining percentage. We're gonna use this for remaining percentage. And here we are going to get the total spent, because we already passed this prompt value goes here and it is passed here. So I will use this as our trigger variable, and we're gonna remove that for now. And here I will going to add this k amount. So now it is already past this prompt with 2Ks on it. We have the amount and currency code, and it is passes to this variable and goes here. So we're gonna still use it, this k, to appear this value and be calculated to bring this set amount away. Now here, then I think what happened is we remove or dissolve this currency code, so uh, it's no longer added to this calculation. So what will remain is the only amount of that. So we're gonna use the amount away here. We're gonna place this amount away, then to string, then save. It's gonna save, and let's open the preview. Okay, let's go back to the home page, then open the cart. All right, so it seems that it is working well. We have 100 limit, I mean 100 minimum to qualify to get the free express shipping, and 100 minus $13 will be 87. Now we are going to work on our percentage, and I think the percentage should be taken from our total amount, then total, oh no, sorry, the total spend amount and the minimum amount, and times with 100. So that is how we are going to get the percentage. The value below to the minimum or total spend amount divided by with the minimum. So here I will going to use an effect. So we're gonna say set remaining percent number, then total spent, then amount, then divide with minimum amount, then times. Oh, sorry, where is that times 100? Yes, I think that's fine. Now we're going to apply this remaining percent to this width. I think this is already remaining percent was 0. I'm gonna say that. So it should be 0. Start from the point. Let's go back and let's try to preview if this work. Oh, why is not? Okay, yeah, I think it's working because we already had a 13 amount of that. So now we are going to add another product. So we're gonna see how this functionality really works. Let's go back to this product and let's add this 13. All right, so as you see it's running, and we're gonna increase the quantity. I think this product it's out of stock. Let's go another product. Why, the catalog, big amount. Where's the here? Sold out 19. All right, here. Add this to bag. Now it is automatically calculated. Let's try to increase the quantity until it will pass the negative. Now we are going to eliminate this kind of situation. Like if we're going to add more, if you see there's a negative, then here in the progress bar it goes to the left infinitely. Now what I gonna do here, let's go back to our component, and now I will going to add a logic way how we're going to eliminate this. Okay, so here I will going to add a condition, like for example in the percentage. Okay, let's try to work with the percentage first. So here I will going to have a condition, then question mark, meaning if minimum, if percentage is greater than 100, then the minimum amount will be placed. I mean the 100% of this value. So I think I'm gonna use 100 here. because we're talking about 100%. Then here, in case if less than, if it's less than else, then the actual percent will appear. Okay, let's go back to our preview. Now it works. So we're gonna try to decrease the quantity if the progress bar is working as well. Okay, so we're going to add more, add more. Now it is added into the exact limit. Now we are going to work with the amount and how we are going to fix this problem. Okay, so in the component, let's go back here. In the money amount, so I have to add another condition with this. So if amount is greater than 0, then then amount to string. If it's greater than 0, we can display the price, the exact cost. But if that is less than or negative amount, then I will place it 0. So here we are going to look at what exactly will happen. Now it is remain 0. So pre-start shipping, you're away from free express shipping. Yes, I think that is the one thing. And I think what else should be, if this is already met, then it will place with another condition. So let's go back to our component. And here we are going to add another condition. I'm gonna say total amount, if total amount is, what will be? Okay, we're going to add a condition here. We're gonna say total amount, then if total amount is present, then we are going to do this. Then here else, then I will gonna say okay here. So I think there's a problem with this because we don't have a parent container. So we're gonna add a fragment like that. Then here we're going to put something here. We're gonna free express shipping like that. Save. Let's go back to our preview and we're going to check it. It's still the same. Okay, something needs to be added on this because we used to have this total without any argument. Okay, so here the total, if the total spent, if the total spent, okay, so here I will going to do this total spent is less than or probably total amount less than, oh sorry, that's not right, minimum amount is greater than total spent, and the total spent, uh, there is a nested. Okay, we're gonna say amount. Save. Let's go back to our preview if this is working. Yes, it works. So that's it. If we're going to decrease the value, yes. Okay, I think that's the one thing for sure that we already included the other hooks like money, suspense, and there's additional await hooks. Now I think we could not cope up the other hooks remaining, and I think what is the remaining is the, what you call that, the other hooks, which is the, I could not remember anymore. It is the hydrated and the use feature, and I think the use feature could be take longer. I will going to demonstrate that in the next part of this session too. And sorry that I could not bring all of those hooks, and probably it takes time and it will make our video become lengthy and sometimes it's getting bored. So I think that's all for this video, and thank you so much for your support, and hoping you will continue to patronize my channel, and please like and share. And if you have some friends and other people you know that they're interested in uh, developing their skills as a web developer, especially for Shopify platform. And I think that's all for now, and hoping to see each other again. Thank you so much, and bye for now.